Thank you for coming back to my channel for your stimulus check and stimulus package update. First of all, I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I hope you have a good one. Enjoy your time with your family. Y'all, the phone numbers are in the description. If you click on the show more, the description box will pop open. If you're on a cell phone, I understand there's an arrow beside the title of the video. Click on that and it will be there. These phone numbers are to the switchboard at the White House. Please call them every day. They put you in touch with any senator, any congressman, any member of the House, and even Donald Trump's office. You won't talk to Donald Trump, but you will talk to one of his aides. Blow those numbers up every day. Y'all, I'm going to say it again. I know people think I'm crazy, but I've got good reason for it. I feel very confident in 2,000, maybe even more, stimulus check. And you know, I've been saying this all along and people think I'm crazy, but now I've noticed other YouTubers that's been giving out very good information in the past are now jumping on board and saying the same thing. Y'all, only time will tell. Today I'm going to talk about Social Security. I'm going to answer some questions that's been asked in the comments. But first of all, I want to clear something up. Somebody left a comment that if you get Social Security, SSI, or disability, and you get a stimulus check, you could lose your Social Security or your disability check. That is simply not true. I hope nobody's seen it. I did delete that comment. I love for y'all to comment and give me a thumbs up and all that stuff. But if you're leaving information for other people, make sure it's right, because that is totally wrong. It's going to cause a lot of stress to people that's on those programs. Okay. A lot of people ask if they're on Social Security, disability, SSI, will they get the stimulus check if it happens? Yes, it will. Steve Mnuchin has point blank said that if you got it last time, you will get it this next time. And they're opening it up to a lot of other people that didn't get it last time will get it this time. So don't worry about it. You will get it if it happens. Just think, how many people in the United States is on these programs? It's millions of people. Can you imagine what would happen if they left them people out of the stimulus check? It wouldn't be a pretty picture. That would be, since it's so close to election, that will be total, outright political suicide. And they're not going to do that. The biggest majority of voters today is people that's on those programs. So they got to be very careful to include them in everything, or else they will be out of office. The biggest question that I have, that everybody has, is just when will this happen? Only time will tell. It will happen. This past week, President Trump, Jerome Powell, and Steve Mnuchin, and a host of others has hinted to the fact that we will be getting another stimulus check. They're just not saying when, but it will happen. Y'all, I want to talk to you a little bit about intensive care hospital beds. I used to work in a major hospital. It was a nonprofit hospital, a very big hospital. I worked in the morgue. I cleaned the morgue in between cases. When they done an autopsy, I would clean the room that they done the autopsy in, clean the table and all the instruments. And when bodies would come into the morgue, I would check them in. When they left the morgue, I would check them out. It was a very good job. I loved it. But during that time, I was in and out of the intensive care, progressive care, all the units. I was in and out of those units many times every day. And what I seen would shock you. they would keep the ICU and progressive care, all of those beds in the units, they would keep them full all the time. So no matter if we got the COVID virus or not, those beds are going to be full. Why is that, you may ask? Because they get paid 3 and 4 times more in those beds than they do in a regular hospital bed. Then they also got progressive care. That's for people that they can't justify putting them in intensive care. So they'll put them there so they can make that big money off of them. And you can almost set your watch of when they're going to move people out of the units onto the regular floor. It would be after they got charged for another day in that high-priced room. And then right after that, here comes another patient into that room. So they get paid that high price twice in one day for that same room. Hospitals, intensive care, progressive care, all of these, the cardiac unit and all, they're money-making machines. Now, I'm not saying they're not needed. They are needed. People that has open heart surgery and major things like that, they do need to go to intensive care. But everybody don't need to go there. Okay. Like I said, they don't move people out of those rooms until they're charged another day. Y'all, also too, when I was working in this hospital, I seen some major waste going on. And they're not going to bring medical costs down until they get rid of all this waste. And they're not going to get rid of the waste. This hospital that I worked at was a nonprofit, so they needed to waste money so they can keep that nonprofit status. Okay, an 18-wheeler load of Metro shelving came in. I don't know if you know what Metro shelving is, but you know those big silver shelving units on wheels that they put linens and stuff on in the hospitals. Every floor has got tons of them. An 18-wheeler load came in. It just sat in the storeroom. Then all of a sudden, here comes 2 40-yard dumpsters in the back. They told me to open them up, send the boxes to the incinerator, put the shelving in the dumpster. They hauled it to the dump. Okay. Another time, the suction canisters, you know those canisters that's on the wall at the head of the bed? An 18-wheeler load of them came in. They sit back there. Nobody touched them. All of a sudden, here comes a dumpster. They told me to empty them out into the dumpster. They got the wrong size. And instead of sending them back and getting the right size, it was cheaper for the company to tell them to get rid of them, and they would send them the right size. Okay, so they went in the dumpster. All of this is so they can keep that nonprofit status. Now, this was 20 years ago. So you say, what does that have to do with today? Because it's still happening. A few months back, I was telling my oncologist about this. And he said, Walter, they still do it every year around tax time. They do this so they can keep the nonprofit status. It makes them look like they've lost money. And they do it around tax time at the end of the year because the company is going to issue them a refund on that product, but it won't be until the next year before they have to show that refund. So they've got all the next year to spend that money on something else. But still they got the credit for it in the year before. Now you're going to say, well, why don't these companies that sell them these products do anything about it? Well, now these companies have got a big write-off too because they've lost money because they had to refund the hospital that money. So you see, medical supplies, hospitals, ICU units, progressive care units, all of those things are just money-making machines. And who pays for it? You and me. Will they ever fix it? Probably not. Because it's every hospital, every doctor, every pharmaceutical rep in the whole country that's doing it. And the government turns a blind eye to it. So we will continue to pay the high cost. Now, can't you imagine if they would not do this, how cheap medical costs would be. It would save everybody a ton of money. That's just how hospitals are run. They're money-making machines. Y'all, I hope something I've said here helps you, especially with the Social Security. Don't worry. You will get it if it's passed, if you're on Social Security, SSI, or disability. And if anybody's seen that comment that person left, you will not lose your benefit if you take that stimulus check. Y'all, I make these videos every day. Please come back every day. 6 o'clock in the morning is when it goes live. Leave me your comments, your thumbs up, your thumbs down. Show me some love, show me some hate, whatever. Just show it to me. I love you all. Ciao.